Imagine standing on a lonely mountain, the wind biting your face, your heart pounding in your ears, and the person you love most kneeling before you. Your hand trembles as you hold a knife, and the command came not from an enemy, not from a mad king, but from God himself. If you click away now, you'll miss the twist that changed the destiny of nations and a secret about faith that almost nobody understands. But if you stay, you will walk with Abraham and Isaac through one of the most intense moments in the entire Bible and discover what real trust looks like. Our story begins in the pale light of dawn, where Abraham opens his eyes after a sleepless night. His chest is tight, his breath heavy. He has heard God speak many times, but this time the voice carried a weight that crushed him. He steps outside his tent, trying to steady himself. The desert air is cool, almost cold, and the sun has barely risen. He looks out across the campsite and sees Isaac laughing with the servants. Isaac, his miracle child. The boy who should not exist. The boy born to a man nearly 100 years old and a woman who was barren all her life. Isaac, the child of promise. Abraham swallows hard. He turns his face away so the servants won't see the tears forming in his eyes. How can he do this? How can he even begin? He returns to his tent and sharpens a knife. Slowly, deliberately. Each scrape of metal against the stone echoes like thunder in his chest. His wife, Sarah, watches from the shadows, worried by the tremor in his hands. Abraham avoids her gaze. "We are going to worship," he says quietly. Not a lie. Not exactly the truth. Just a fragile fragment of what he cannot bring himself to say. Isaac runs into the tent with innocent excitement. "Father, can I go with you?" he asks, smiling brightly. Abraham forces his face into a smile. "Yes, my son. You must." Together they gather the wood for the sacrifice. Isaac lifts the heavy bundle without complaining. Abraham watches him carefully, every movement, every gesture. His son's hands, his son's eyes, his son's future. The servants prepare the donkeys, fastening ropes and loading supplies. Abraham gives instructions, but his mind is far away, replaying God's command again and again. "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and offer him as a burnt offering." The words burn like fire in his bones. They set off toward the mountains, 3 days' journey away. Abraham walks ahead, his head low, whispering prayers he barely understands. Isaac walks behind, humming a tune Sarah used to sing. The servants talk quietly among themselves, unaware that they are witnessing the beginning of a divine test that will echo for thousands of years. On the first night, as the stars appear, Abraham cannot sleep. He stares at the sky, at the very stars God once promised would represent his descendants. "As numerous as these," God said, "how can that promise come true of Isaac?" Abraham cannot finish the thought. He closes his eyes and whispers into the silence, "God will provide." The next day feels heavier. The sun is merciless, and the mountains grow larger on the horizon. Abraham steps slow as they approach the place God revealed to him. After 3 days they stop. Abraham lifts his eyes and sees the mountain silent, sharp, waiting. His heart sinks, but he calls the servants. "Stay here. The boy and I will go worship." Then he adds words that surprise even himself. "And we will return." He doesn't know how. He doesn't know when. But somehow, he believes it. Isaac shoulders the wood for the sacrifice. The symbolism is almost unbearable. Isaac carrying the very material that could consume him. Abraham carries the fire and the knife, each feeling heavier than stone. They walk alone up the mountain. Dust rises with each step. Isaac finally breaks the silence. "Father?" Abraham looks down. "Yes, my son? We have the fire and the wood. But where is the lamb for the offering?" The question hits Abraham like a blow. He stops walking, staring at the ground. The wind lifts dust around them. His voice cracks as he answers. God himself will provide the lamb. Isaac nods, accepting the answer with pure, unquestioning trust. Trust that cuts deeper than any blade. They reach the top. The sky is clear, painfully silent. Abraham begins building the altar stone by stone, his hands shaking uncontrollably. Isaac notices. "Father, are you all right?" Abraham cannot reply. He keeps working, his breath ragged. The altar grows higher. Then something happens. Maybe Isaac sees something in his father's eyes. Maybe he understands in a moment of divine clarity. Scripture does not tell us. But it does tell us what happens next. Abraham binds Isaac. Isaac does not scream. He does not fight. Whether through understanding, submission, or unimaginable faith, he allows the ropes to wrap around his wrists. Abraham's tears fall onto Isaac's cheeks as he lifts him onto the altar. The wood scratches Isaac's back. Isaac's breathing becomes shallow. Abraham's becomes tortured. Abraham steps back, staring at his son, the promised child, the miracle. Isaac looks at him with a mixture of trust and quiet confusion. Abraham picks up the knife. His hand trembles violently. His heart is breaking. He raises the blade above his head. Time slows. Even the wind seems to stop moving. Isaac's eyes lock onto his father's, eyes full of innocence, full of trust, full of unspoken questions. Abraham exhales shakily and begins to bring the knife down. Then it happens. A voice tears through heaven itself. Abraham! Abraham! The knife stops. Abraham freezes. His knees buckle. He drops the blade and falls forward, gasping. The voice continues, firm and powerful, but filled with mercy. Do not lay a hand on the boy. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. Abraham sobs, overwhelmed by relief so intense it feels like fire sweeping through him. Isaac lies still, stunned but alive. Abraham unties his son with trembling fingers, hugging him tightly. Isaac clings to his father, breath returning slowly. Then a rustling sound comes from the thicket beside them. Abraham looks up and sees a ram caught by its horns. A sacrifice provided by God at the exact moment it was needed. Abraham's tears fall again, this time in gratitude. The Lord has provided, he says softly. Together, father and son offer the ram in Isaac's place. The smoke rises into the clear sky. It's more than a sacrifice, it's a declaration that God sees, God remembers, and God intervenes when hope seems lost. When the offering is over, Abraham names the place. The Lord will provide, and that name becomes a promise that echoes through generations. Isaac looks at his father as they begin the journey back down the mountain. Father, did God really test you? Abraham nods slowly. Yes, my son. But he also saved us both. As they walk together, Abraham feels lighter, though forever changed. Isaac walks beside him, a life chosen destined for something greater than he can imagine. The servants are surprised when they see both father and son returning. Abraham's earlier words, "We will return," have come true in a way only God could orchestrate. This moment would echo into eternity. Because one day, on another hill, another father would offer his only son. But that time no ram would appear. No voice would cry out to stop the sacrifice. That time the knife would fall. Not because of divine cruelty, but because of divine love. If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments, like this video. Tap the link on your screen to subscribe, and continue exploring the extraordinary stories waiting for you on this channel.